everybody, welcome back inside the NHRA Nitro Time Machine, which looks like my office, but really is a time machine. Just trust me on all of this. We're going back to the 1995 NHRA World Finals in Pomona, California, and we're talking about Al Hofmann. Hofmann was all too happy to wear the black hat to John Force's white hat over the course of the 1990s in the world of Nitro Funny Car. He rose to become a huge threat on the side of John Force, and they talked a lot of trash back and forth, which built the rivalry to big heights. It was this 1995 World Finals, though, that Al Hofmann established himself as a true threat to John Force's legacy, and as you'll hear in his top 10 interviews, he loved every second of it.
Gary Clapshaw's one of those guys that can sneak in there and knock somebody off when they least expect it.
Tom Anderson loves it when the big money's up. He responds. They won the Big Bud Shootout at Indianapolis Labor Day weekend, $100,000. Now, Tony Pedregon. Take a look at that beautiful Geronimo car there. He is partially responsible for the paint, but there's something else he'd rather do.
Driving a Nitro Funny Car truly is an art form, and Tony Pedregon's become a true master of the art for Larry Minor in 1995 behind the wheel of the Geronimo's machine. And for a hobby, Tony likes to paint as well. Check out these helmet designs he has created for himself and for some of his friends. These two are Tony's personal helmets. This one for Brother Cruz, the driver of the McDonald's machine. He's also painted helmets for such drivers as Bill Elliott, Jimmy Spencer, and even P.J. Jones. If he ever gets out from behind the wheel of the Geronimo's Funny Car, Tony Pedregon's got a pretty good career with a paintbrush.
Yeah, that is really some neat stuff. I asked Larry Minor, why do you call it Geronimo? I thought that's what you yelled when you jumped out of an airplane or an Indian chief. He said, I don't even know what it is. I just like the sound of it. It's a neat word. It is, too. He used it in sand drag racing years ago. Hofmann in. Oh, Tony Pedregon could pull the upset. No! By a spoiler. Al Hofmann, another 504 to a 513. And Hofmann, it's a good thing he had a 303 mile an hour speed. He wouldn't have caught him.
Boy, Force has got his work cut out for him if he wants that low ET. Hofmann is on his game. I really thought Tony Pedregon had a great shot at him. He was even quicker in the lights, and it looked like he was starting to pull away, especially when Hoffman's car got loose right here and skating all over the racetrack. Not enough. Tommy Anderson, 504, 303 miles an hour. The ET battle continues in the final four with Hofmann getting lane choice over Force. And in the other pair, Gary Clapshaw, the independent, up against Cruz Pedregon. Here's Steve with Al.
This Firebird was all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on out there. That lane didn't seem quite as good as the left lane. I think we'll go back to the left lane, but we've seen Force run good over there, but Anderson makes the calls on a Western Auto Slick 50 Pontiac here, and he's been...
That 504, though, you can take any lane you want over John Force. Could be the race of the weekend.
Well, I think Force knows he's got some company here, not only this year, but next year, and we're not going away.
He knows that.
Well, Al Hofmann's going to go up against Force. Tony Pedregon, a little frustrated. He knows how close he was to beating Al Hofmann once all weekend. That's a sign that that car is really going well.
And one thing this car hasn't done all weekend is one of those punishing wheel stands it was so famous for at 3 or 4 different races. The open of the show, that car was flying with Al Hofmann. Austin Coyle, his trademark toothpick firmly ensconced. Says, okay, John boy, this is a battle here. These two badmouth each other. Hofmann has said many times, I want everything Force has got. Right now, Force wants something Hoffman's got, and that's low ET. Force was late. John, you better hurry, buddy. Not enough. Al Hofmann's 506 beats Force 504 with a 7. Not enough to take low ET. John Force is out of here, period. Both of them over 300.
Take a look at what happens at the lights, because this is where Al Hofmann wins it. You can see him get just a hair better lead. A 4:52 reaction time for Hofmann, a 4:93 for Force, and the race is over. At the far end of the racetrack, both cars just humping along at all 8 cylinders. Hofmann a 506 and 300, a 504.7 for Force. Here's Steve.
You gave him a whooping, Al.
That's a preview next year, John. We're coming.
On a hole shot, your 06 beat his 04.
How fast was his 04?
Not as quick as yours.
All right.
As expected, the Cruz Pedregon car now adorned with the Batman for Everybody. This was the scene moments ago in the pits. We told you about the damage to the McDonald's body. The Batman for Everybody was in the top Eliminator Club, hanging from the ceiling as an ornament. It was only run for about a month to promote the movie On the Break. It did its job. They tried to loan this body to Ray Higley because they did so much damage to his car in that explosion Friday. It would not fit on Higley's car. Darn good thing.
Well, the other thing they did, Steve, was take a lot of parts off of Corey Mack's Top Fuel dragster to mount onto the engine of Cruz's machine. They took the supercharger, the ignition, the fuel management system, a lot of the parts that they were giving them problems with the red machine.
Last funny car race of the year. Can Al Hofmann hang on to the $50,000 bonus? Can Cruz Pedregon keep a body on the car? Oh, buddy. Oh, baby. It is Hofmann. 5:06. He wins the event title. He wins the 50 grand at 298. Pedregon shut it off just before the finish line. I guarantee you, Ralph, he felt something go wrong in that car and did not want to burn it to the ground.
Hey, I'd be a little gun shy as well, Steve. Tipping a hat to Cruz's crew for getting him back out there and running as well as they did. Because at this point, it sure looks like Cruz is well on his way to topping off a phenomenal weekend. But watch the candles go out there, and Pedregon loses as Hofmann gets the win. Steve?
Al Hofmann, you just scored about $100,000. But the highlight of your weekend had to be defeating John Force in round 2.
Yeah, that was real nice, and we plan on doing that a lot next year. But to win the race here for our sponsors, Western Auto Slick 50, BDS, I mean, they're out here on the West Coast. They got the best supercharger in the business, and I've won this one. This one was for my mother back in Connecticut. I've been trying to win one for her and say it all year. This was for you, Mom.
Al Hofmann finished the 1995 season second in points, as you saw in that graphic in the video. And frankly, he wouldn't fare as well in 1996. He finished fourth. That being said, he loved needling Force, he loved racing John Force, and most of all, he loved beating John Force. Al Hofmann has since passed away, but he is one of the hardest-nosed, coolest drag racers of all time, and his legacy will long live with fans of the Nitro Funny Car category. Thanks for taking a trip with us into the NHRA Nitro Time Machine. We'll be back with more hair-raising funny car racing soon.